Happy Wednesday. It is our Wow Wednesday day. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Wednesday. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late today, trying to stuff too many things into a day. You know how that goes, I'm sure. So anyways, we are here. Again, sorry, I am running a little bit late. I'm going to make sure that we're live in the group. If you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know you're excited to be here for our training today. I'm really excited to share this secret tool that will help you be more consistent in your health journey. This is something that I talk to my clients a lot about, and we work through this process. So I really wanted to share this with you guys so you can kind of get a feel for how this works and maybe start implementing some things in your own life. So really excited about it. It's a really funny story too, how I came up with it. So I'll be sharing some of that with you. But if you're here, say hi. Let me know you're here. I'm watching for your comments. I know some of you said you'll be able to watch live. All right, cool. We're live in the group. Yep, make sure you interact with me when we're here every week, because this is your time to get to talk to me. If you don't know me very well, get to know me very well. And I am Alicia, by the way. That's my name. I probably talked to you maybe when you came into this group. Maybe a friend invited you, but I'm the founder of this group, the Healthy Moms of Faith. So really excited to share some training with you today, some value, hopefully. Again, these live trainings are for you guys. They're to help you guys hopefully move forward in your health journey. And so that's why I do them every week. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Make sure you give me some likes, give me some thumbs ups that you're ready to go and ready to learn. Sorry, I think I have a strawberry seed in my teeth. I'm excited though, because I got my workout already done today, and I've been struggling to do that. And that's something that I'm going to talk to you guys about today, because that is one of the things that I have as a goal, is to exercise every day and do specific types of things. So yeah, again, put secret tool in the comments if you're ready to go, if you're ready to learn about this. So, if you're someone that struggles to stick with a healthy regimen, or you feel like you're always restarting your health journey with some sort of habit, whether it's nutrition, whether it's exercise, then this training is for you. This is one of the things that I teach that has worked for me, that's worked for a lot of my clients, and so I really want to share this with you guys so that hopefully you can get on a good path so they don't have to keep restarting or feel like you're always falling off track. So let me know if you're excited about that. Welcome if you're new. We have some new people I know in the group, and so these weekly trainings are for you, the Healthy Moms of Faith, or Moms of Faith, or Women of Faith, because we desire to get healthy in spirit, soul, and body. Those are the things, the whole picture, not just physically, not just mentally, but spiritually as well. So, and we're doing that so that we can live a life we are designed to live, a life that's thriving, not just surviving. So that's why I am here. That's why this group is here. I'm really wanting to provide you ladies with some value, some tips, some ideas, some reasons why maybe you're not moving forward in your journey, so that you can move forward in your journey. And that is why I'm here. So again, I am a health coach, even if you're not doing any personal one-on-one coaching with me. That's why this group is here. Use this group, ask questions, encourage each other in your journey. That's why I try to put up things about, what's your goals? Let's work on these things. Let's encourage each other. I want you guys to get value out of this group. So it's not just about my clients. It's also about you, who you maybe just need a little bit of motivation. Maybe that's it. Maybe you know what to do, but maybe you don't. And that could also be you too. So again, I'm going to go ahead and get going. So just make sure that you're hopping on, saying hi. Let me know that you're here. I see someone's watching. Who's watching? Let me know in the comments. Today, again, if you're feeling like you're failing at your health journey constantly, or you never seem to be really successful, or you're always falling off track, this is for you. This is to help you. This is a tool that I use in my own life to help me stay on track, right? So, hey, Dr. Mary, I see ya. So, I wanted to share, I've talked a little bit about, having a plan of attack, right? When it comes to our health journey, we need to have a plan of attack. And so I want to kind of expand on that today. This is one of those tools that goes in your tool bucket when it comes to your plan of attack. And so there's kind of two parts to this tool. And so I want to share with you kind of something that I just started doing recently, actually this week. So I obviously work at home. It's summertime, and my kids are home right now. They're in quiet time. They're supposed to be quiet. Kids are going to be kids, and that's just how it goes. But as a working mom, I'm trying to teach my kids that, okay, mom has to do this, and you need to do this at this time. And they're used to being in school and having a structure and a schedule. And so, one of the things that I decided to do to try out, because we have this week and next week, and then we're going on vacation, and then we have 6 weeks before school starts. So, in order for me to get work done, and not just work, but also home stuff, and how it goes. You're a mom, so, or you're a woman, you know how that goes. So, giving my kids something to do, helping them figure out how to, keep themselves busy, which they're really good at. But if you don't kind of like help them along, then they're just like screaming and, being really loud. And my husband is working from home too still. So, we need to have a little bit of peace, a little bit of quiet so we can focus. So one of the things that I've been doing that I just started this week is I came up with a schedule for my kids during the summer while we're here at home. And, some of the things include some new chores that they need to learn how to do, some fun things that I want to do with them, because I do want to hang out with them while we're here at home. I don't get to see them on a normal basis every day, all day, because they're at school. And so, I devised a structure, a schedule of a way that we're going to kind of work through the day, a few time frames here and there, so they kind of know if they ask me, well, I'm bored, what can I do? I just go tell them, go look at the schedule on on the fridge, so that might seem like kind of extreme. And I will tell you, I didn't really want to do it. I've never really wanted to do this before, but I've also never really needed to before, because I wasn't really working towards any goals. And so, this was the first year that for the summer I was like, all right, I got to figure out something, because they did summer school for a couple weeks. We have some certain activities and stuff, but I really want to be able to spend some time with them. Me personally, this is just me, and if you send your kids to daycare, no judgment, but for me personally, I just want to be able to spend some extra time with them. And so having them here at home is kind of nice. I get to see them a little bit more, but I still need them to, busy themselves and play amongst themselves and read and all of those things. So that's the first part of this tool, is having a structure, right? Now the structure, I'll tell you, the first couple of days didn't happen in any way, shape, or form. Did I get everything done, or did they do everything that I kind of asked them to do? Or did they, they knew what to do, or they had ideas of what to do? Yes, that still happened. And it was actually pretty good. Like, they didn't argue and fight. They knew when they were supposed to do reading time. They knew when they were supposed to have quiet time, when it was lunchtime. Did we stay on schedule? No, not necessarily. Did we sometimes? Yes, we did sometimes. But that's the first part of this tool, is there has to be a structure to follow. So when it comes to your health journey, there has to be a pattern. Remember, we've talked about baby steps, right? There has to be certain baby steps that you specifically need to be taking in order to start reaching these goals that you have, whether it be weight loss, whether it's just having more energy, whether it's getting rid of belly fat, whatever it is. There has to be a path, right? There has to be a schedule. There has to be a structure. And so there has to be something to shoot towards. So that's the first part of this tool, is there has to be some sort of structure. So, if this is something that you struggle with, you don't know what your structure should look like, just put structure in the comments and let me know. Is that you? Is this something you struggle with when it comes to your health journey? You don't really know what your baby steps are. You don't know how you should implement them into your life, right? So if that's you, put structure in the comments and let me know. And then, like I said, there's two parts to this tool. And so I want to, again, reiterate, remember that we're working on the right baby steps. Again, you have to have, and everybody's a little different. There are some things that are very common that work for some people and most people, but there are different body types, there are different life situations that we're going through, and so your structure is going to look different than someone else's structure. Like everybody's structure is going to look a little bit different. There's this tool though of having a structure to shoot towards. Again, should be the goal. You should have some sort of structure to reach towards. Is it going to be perfect? No, but that's what we're working on, right? We're working on better consistency. We want more consistency in this area of the right baby steps. So, yeah, Dr. Mary says, structure with discipline. That's right. So we have to have, the where to go and start there, right? So I wanted to share a little story about me when it comes to my exercise journey. Now, I've been in fitness for 15 years. I started my health journey mostly in the fitness exercise industry. I didn't do too much the nutrition side till kind of midway in. But I am a group fitness instructor. That's how I started. I'm not teaching right now, but that's how my journey started. Was I started exercising. I went to group fitness classes. And so that's how my journey began. Well, I got to this point where, I wanted to lift heavier. I wanted to build strength. Probably about, it was probably when my husband and I moved out here where we're at now. And I started working for a gym that was local. And, really got into more lifting. And I wanted to get my first pull-up. And so I had been working towards getting my first pull-up, like my first pull-ups without assistance. So without like having a band that kind of gives you some lift. If you've ever tried to do that, you know what I mean. But anyways, so this was after I'd had my second child, and I really, I tried to follow what trainers had told me and, watch YouTube videos and Instagram and all these different things. And I kept injuring myself trying to reach this goal, and I never really was able to do a full pull-up. I still haven't. And that's still one of my goals. But what I found out after having babies, and I went through my postpartum corrective exercise certification and learned along the way that my core was not functioning properly. My core had some weaknesses, and this was one of the reasons why sometimes I would pull something in my back, sometimes I would pull something in my shoulder, and so I just wasn't able to really hit this goal. And so, again, I just want to say that and share that with you because there was a disconnect between the goal that I wanted to reach and the way that I was going to reach it. And I found out that a lot of my lower core was weak, and that's why I wasn't able to do the pull-up, where I kept injuring myself. And so I've kind of put that aside. I'm hopefully going to get ready to start working on that again. But that's what I mean when it comes to what's the right structure for you. You have to know what the ins and outs are. You have to know what your body needs, how your body's supposed to function. And I'll just tell you right now, that is not necessarily your job. If you're not a nutritionist, if you're not a personal trainer, you're not a health coach, any of those things, it's okay. You don't necessarily have to know. And sometimes we need help figuring that out, right? So when it comes to figuring out what your structure should be, then the second part of this tool comes in. So then once you know what your structure should be, it's about starting small and allowing for life to still happen, right? When I was talking about my schedule with my kids, I have already worked through so many different habits in my life. I know it's not going to be perfect. And, I'm someone I'm a type A person, and in the beginning, that really frustrated me. I wanted it to be perfect. But the problem with that is nobody can be perfect in anything, in any way, shape, or form. Now, of course, we have the Holy Spirit. It helps us out, and that's where our strength comes from, right? When it comes to building habits, when it comes to getting healthier spirit, soul, and body. But you still have to start small. You have to start, implementing these baby steps, a few baby steps at a time. That's the other thing, is your structure might have like 5 or 6 things that you need to do, but you aren't going to be able to do all 5 of those things all at once. And that's one of the other reasons why sometimes we give up, because we're doing too much at one time. So you need to take 1 to 2 baby steps and start those things first. So again, it's about implementing those 1 to 2 baby steps first in small increments more consistently in order to reach those goals. For instance, for me, it's exercise. I've done a pretty good job of getting my nutrition under control. I don't feel like I struggle with that a whole lot anymore, but that was something I really had to work through. And so after COVID hit and I wasn't working in the gym anymore, it was a lot harder for me to get my workout, get the motivation. We'll say that. I know what to do. I have the space to do it in my basement, but committing to that, and then along with starting a business and working more, for me, it's really hard to commit to a time. I have a time that's on my calendar, but it doesn't always happen at that time, and it doesn't always happen every day. But, my small baby step that I've decided for myself that I want to do at least, again, going back to my structure, my main goal is that I do at least, if I don't get any other exercise in, I go for a walk and or I work my core. At least. That's like my baby step of what I do every day, if at all possible, if I'm not able to do one of these other things that I want to do, like cardio or lifting. So again, you have to kind of have a fallback. You have to have a starting point, a baby step that you start with, that you work to implement. That's your structure, right? And then this is the second part of that tool, is you have to allow for flexibility in your life. Especially as a mom, right? If you're a stay-at-home mom, even if you're a working mom, right? That's me right now. You have to still, if your schedule allows for flexibility, if you have to go into your job, then you may only have a couple of choices when it comes to exercise. But you have to allow for some flexibility in your life. And what do I mean by that? So again, this tool together is structured flexibility. I know my cousin was like, that's an oxymoron. But when I was thinking about how I've implemented this in my life and, how this has worked in my life, it's really, again, it's about having the right structure, right? Knowing what I need to be working towards, but allowing for flexibility in my life. So what I mean by that is a lot of times what I teach with my clients too is when it comes to a baby step that you're trying to implement, it goes on your calendar. Whether it's being in the Word, right? That should be your first priority. If it's just 10 minutes, you put it on your calendar. You tell yourself, this is when I'm going to do it. This is when I'm going to commit to that. What happens if you're up all night in the middle of the night with your baby? You're tired, right? So it's on your calendar. You know it's a commitment. Move it. Let's say you have to sleep in till 10 o'clock in the morning. Feed the baby. Then do it then. Maybe your goal is to do it at 8 a.m., but you needed to sleep till 10, because sleep is a priority too. And so by being flexible, that's what I mean, is you're still committing to it. It still goes on your calendar, but it can move within your day, right? And that's what happens to me a lot of the times with my exercise. It's on my calendar at 10 a.m. currently. It moves around sometimes. That's the other thing, is sometimes you have to find the best time, but it still may not be the same time every day, and that's okay. But it needs to happen, right? It's on my calendar. I need to make sure that happens. Does it still happen every day? No. But does it happen more often than not? Yes. Because it's on my calendar, because I've committed to it. Sometimes having some extra accountability, that helps too. But I'm someone who, if you've ever taken the tendency test, I'm an upholder. So I'm someone who I do really well with setting my own goals for myself. But I also do really well with outside expectations. So I do really well with outside expectations of having someone say, you need to do this, or how's it going? And also I do really well with internal expectations, where I set a goal for myself and I decide that this is what I'm going to do. Whereas there are some people, obligers, where they're people who, they tend to get run over because they don't know how to say no, and they're always doing what everybody else wants them to do. And so they forget about themselves, but they do need that external accountability more so than not. But it just needs to be the right balance. You have to have the right boundaries. So when it comes to, committing to something, committing to your structure, the flexibility is what is beautiful. It makes it so much more stress-free because there are going to be things that happen in life. Again, this is part of your plan of attack. This is a tool in your plan of attack, is using this structured flexibility to allow for life, right? And this could be like something where you are moving, and you're up and changing everything and moving locations, and like you have a lot going on when you're moving. Now there are ways of bringing in certain help and that kind of thing and allowing for better consistency when it comes to your health journey when life is just awry. There are things you do have to put in place. You have to make time for self-care, right? I talk about that too. But that flexibility is there because life is going to happen. It just is. We know this, especially as moms. We can't always control our kids and what's happening next. So that's the beautiful thing about the flexibility, the structured flexibility. You still have a structure you're working towards, but it can be flexible within your day, within your goal of every day, right? Because consistency, working towards consistency, is more so than not, which means more days than not, which means more weeks than not, which means more months than not. So it's something we have to build upon, and that's why there has to be a small baby step, one or two, like I said, that you work towards. Now you can build on, once you've kind of gotten those 2 baby steps, then you can add another one. But that's the idea behind this tool, is allowing for flexibility within your day, but not essentially dissing your structure. Like, you commit to it, you decide what it is, and you work towards that, right? So if that is something that is kind of new to you, if you need this in your life, put structured flexibility in the comments. I know that's kind of a big word, structured flexibility, but that's the secret tool that has worked for me, that has helped me stay consistent, that I'm teaching my clients how this works in your life. So I'm really excited about this. Let's see. Thanks for clarifying baby step, what it is in the example. Yeah, it can be super small. But that's sometimes can be frustrating too, because when you're trying to make a big change, you want to see a lot more going on in the beginning. But the problem is it's too much, right? You have to make time for self-care. You have to plan it. You have to know what that plan is. You have to have the right structure. And then you have to allow for this flexibility in your life, right? So yeah, if that's you, Yvonne says structured flexibility. Yeah, you're not alone. This is something that, honestly, I've been applying this probably the last 5 years or so. Just being at home with my kids, really committing to my health journey, especially when it came to my nutrition. So again, you're not alone, but hopefully this idea will help you understand how you can be more consistent in your health journey. So I'm excited about that. So put structured flexibility if you're watching this right now. And again, if you're watching this now, put live. If you're watching it later, put replay. Let me know. Because I watch your comments. I want to make sure that I'm interacting with you and getting your questions answered too. And next week, I'm really excited. I have a special guest. A friend of mine, she's a coach as well in a different arena. And so I want to talk a little bit more about, when it comes to our health journey, how do we stick to our health journey, right? A couple weeks ago, we talked about cravings, because that's one big obstacle. And then how do we stay more consistent this week in our health journey? It's working through this structure flexibility. Well, what happens when you have relationships, people in your life that aren't necessarily on board with you getting healthier? Speaking of in your own home, kids, husbands, I shared a few weeks back how some things have worked for us in my family, my kids and my husband, and how that's changed our world to get, to all of us getting healthier. How do we work through some of this communication that we need to have with these relationships? And honestly, my friend who's going to be here next week, I'm really excited. She helped me in the beginning when I decided to start working through some of these things. She gave me some ideas that helped me be okay with even working at home with my kids around, because that was something that I was like, I don't think I can do that. And so she really helped me see some things that I could change my mindsets so that I could still work towards some goals, but there has to be some communication that goes on with that. So really excited to have her with us next week. It'll be really cool. So don't miss next week. Be here. And again, if you need help learning how to use this tool, this secret tool of structured flexibility, just again, put structured flexibility, flexibility, can't even say it, flexibility in the comments and let me know, and I will reach out to you and we can have a little chat and figure this out, because you're not alone. That's what this group is for. To figure these things out. So anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and I will see you guys later. Bye.